Hello, this is Stephen Trials, creator of Church of Fairness, spiritual atheism at its best. It doesn't matter if you disagree. So what matters is that we stop killing and fighting each other and stop doing each other wrong. So I noticed that my concept that God, the cause of reality, reality itself, is what everything is. And so I've been saying for a long time, God is us, but we're not God. And the Sikh religion teaches what I'm saying, that there's the one that's everyone, and everything that's going on is just the one. Ik. The word is ik, means one. Ik Onkar, one creator creation is the way I've heard it. There's just one creator creation. Now the Rig Veda, the oldest teaching from Hindu, says that all the gods came from creation, and maybe the one, like the most powerful, the most intelligent one or whatever, surely the one would know where creation came from, and if the one doesn't know, then nobody knows. And so then it goes into sacrificing animals correctly and typical devotional practices for immortality and so forth. And then now is what I'm getting is like, it's like a Satan that tricked us humans from the original transmission from these higher beings that told the people of Rig Veda that creation is the cause of the gods. Now listen to what the Chandogya Upanishad says circa 800 BC. So it's a little later. And this is where Satan's trick comes in. So there's a picture of a Shivite, and the spirit friend told me to kick him in the head because he had kicked me in the head. And I'm like, no, God's this. I don't need to do anything. God is that spirit telling me to kick him. God is the whole thing. So anyway, here's why. Because it was a trick of Satan.
One without a second.
Wait a minute.
Beginning, there was only being.
It says in the beginning was only being. Without a second.
One without a second.
One without a second. So I've been talking about the primary reality, and the secondary is us. So all the secondary beings are not the one that's everything. I don't think the one has a mind. The one is our mind. But without biological evolution, there would be no consciousness. So I'm actually an atheist. Like I said, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong to me. Just what's the evidence? I'm going by evidence. But let's stop killing each other over this stuff. Let's stop. There's like a scripture, the Gospel of Thomas, where they have the keys to enter the kingdom, and they won't go in themselves, and they won't let anyone else go in either. So there's corrections here. I'm a correction here that was born here. So this goes on to explain how one of us aspects of creation can be the supreme being. Never.
Out of himself, he brought forth the cosmos.
It says, out of himself he brought forth the cosmos. The Rig Veda says, creation created him. That's a big difference.
And entered into everything in it.
So he's like the trickster, and he's saying, I created the cosmos. This is like the Gnostics saying Yahweh is a laughingstock. It's the same kind of thing. So he created the cosmos and entered into everything in it. So God's in us. But he's the Lord over us. And he created us. And he is being. Do rocks have beingness? None. Zero. They don't have beingness. They don't have consciousness. So, my point is, people say God is in us. And that's what the people in India are saying because of this Chandogya Upanishad that is called Thou Art That. So here's this teaching, this major, you're so special of a person to be told that you are that one that created the cosmos and entered into it. Never. That's rubbish. See what I mean? It's a sales pitch to our greedy ego to become all powerful when it's not going to ever happen. The all powerful is the one that is everything. So it's you, but you'll never be it. And that's where we get grace. That's where we get saved from division. We get saved from fighting each other. Because now we're all the same. There's the one that is us.
There is nothing that does not originate from him.
So here you got some character with this smart brain on his shoulders, giving us this crap that everything came from him. There is nothing that does not originate from him, the one that is being, consciousness, and he entered into everything in creation.
Of everything, he is the inmost self.
So he's saying, of everything, he is the inmost self. So we're being told that this conscious creator that's being entered into ourself, that is ourself. This becomes muddled and confusing, complicated. We have this idea in the Jewish people, and they're trying to kill all those that don't surrender to the all-powerful one. And in India, they have stopped fighting each other about this. So they have this system where you can go to the Krishna temple and see Krishna as the one that's conscious, that caused us to have consciousness. Or you can go to a Shiva where they're devoted to Shiva, or Kali. There's thousands of gods in India. And some of these people are still chanting the Rig Veda creation hymn. And they're like, see, these other people they're not right. They're saying this the wrong way. they're saying that creation, cosmos, was created by this being, somebody. And the Rig Veda hymns is saying maybe nobody knows where cosmos came from, but all the gods came from it. So this consciousness that's primary, allegedly, has the power over everybody. Somebody with a brain has power over us. I don't like that idea. So the Rig Veda hymn saying, no, the creator is creation. And it created the gods. So there's no authority. That's what I want, is there's no ultimate authority over us. So we're free to do the best we can with what we got. And there's not anyone in our way to stop us from doing it. So what happens is they'll see me, they'll see someone as being Shiva. So I got Shiva on my Facebook as my picture, the Nataraj Tandava. This is why Buddha left Hindu, because Buddhism starts, one of the main scriptures, sutras from the beginning is the Heart Sutra, where it explains that which is form is exactly that which has no form, and that which has no form is exactly which has form. And they practice this idea of shunyata, and that means zero. Shunya is the Sanskrit word for zero. And so Buddhism's called the doctrine of the void. And then you have like what I'll call a corruption of Buddhism, where they're saying that this nothing, where that is everything, the nothing itself is something. So it's not actually empty. It's called emptiness. It's empty. There's not anything in the cup. So that's to get you the idea that this is not anything at all. And what do I mean this is not? What is this that's not anything at all? This is reality. This is what everything. All of our senses see this. And it's not anything at all. So it goes on and explains how there's no teaching about this. It's like, this is it. You're not getting any more. I just told you the whole story. And it says that since there's not anything, there's no deception. So there's no Satan, the deceiver. So we call it truth. And it's called perfection of wisdom. So I feel that it's like a correction of wisdom. It's getting back on the right road wisdom. So it's like what you see is what you get, and it really isn't anything. So wow, we just got this free ride to have this life experience. And, philosophically they say, why is there something rather than nothing? Well, there really isn't something. There's nothing. But they don't want to go there. Nobody wants to say that. And if you say it, you have to defeat this devil that wants to be the one that has power over us. And he doesn't let you say that he's not anything at all. So you have the story of Jesus tempted by Satan in the desert. And it's almost the same story as Buddha being attacked by illusion, by Maya. Because Buddha is realizing that this is not really anything, and there's not really anyone with any power over me. And so something attacks him that wants him to surrender to it. How interesting. And this is like happens with all of us. It's happened with me also. And the story of Jesus is that he said, "Get behind me, Satan. You lost." And so some people think that Jesus made a deal with Satan to support him. So they're like in cahoots in being the God that created us, that has all power over us, and that everybody has to surrender to. And so Satan's like, okay, you go, Jesus. Do it. Get her done. Get everyone to surrender to you. And you know that I'm with you. Whereas Buddha's like, no, bud, there's nothing. And that's what this is. That's what I am. That's what you are. You're nothing. So when you tell that to the Hispanics, it's like the worst thing that you could ever say to them. So they'll tell me that, you're nothing, Steve. And then they see how I can handle it. And so because of my knowledge of what's going on, and because no one can do me wrong or I'll curse them, and I care about everyone, and they know I'm not going to budge, and they know they can't get me to give up with any kind of threat. So it happens with all the different people. But the Hispanics seem to have the special connection to not being called nothing. It's like shaming you. You don't have any power. So it becomes like a narcissistic takeover. And so this stuff is real. This fight we're in is very real, even though it's not anything at all. Our experience is very real. And it's like, what does it matter if everything that is actually real is actually not anything at all? But we have the experience of it being actually real. Who cares? It doesn't change what it is at all. It changes our understanding of what possibly reality is. Just a big, well, like the Nataraj. He's called the Lord of the Dance. So it's just this drama of having this life, and all these difficulties and all this joy. We got something for nothing, free of charge. So the way I see this, we don't have people trying to become Brahma, the supreme over someone else. And people thinking, oh, that guy's the God guy. He's Brahma in the flesh. Jesus is the God, the creator in the flesh. And so people are competing, trying to be the most powerful one that's God in the flesh. And so the way I'm looking at it, God is not in the flesh. God is the flesh. God is our self. God is what exists, and nothing else exists. And it could be looked at, you could look at it like God is how this nothing at all can appear as everything. So God's like the mystery of creation. And will we ever know what it is? Probably not, because we're never going to know what nothing is, because it's not there to know what it is. So we can't get any further than this. We found it. We're home. God's us. Have a great day.